Our next review is going to be for the Easton S15 Skates. Easton S15 Skates have actually been discontinued, but they're still actually on sale. You can find them on eBay, you can find them at other shops on sale. They're really, really good, and at 250 to 350 bucks a pop, considering these skates when they came out they were like 600, you're pretty much taking a really, really good steal. I know a lot of people are saying that that Easton S15 skates were not as, how you say, stiff as the 195s, but then again, I don't really care about the 195s. I know a lot of people do because of their stiffness. If you rely on your skates for stiffness to hold you up and give you that ankle strength, then you're not really a pure skater. I am a recent switch over from Grafs skates. Grafs skates are low profile skates on the ankle right here. Let's just say that at this right here, that's where the Grafs skate ends, and then you just take over with your ankles to become a pure skater. I'm not saying I'm the best skater out there in the world, but I rely more on my ankle strength, just like the old pros used to do as well. People who teach you at power skating, they ask you to, they pretty much demand that you rely on it. So let's break into it. One thing about Easton is their tongue. Their tongue is really abrasive. It's a bio-dry tongue. If you can actually get these changed out, just get a regular felt tongue, like a Graf felt tongue, you'll be so much more in better shape. This is the inside liner of the skate. As you can see, the entire skate is actually a one-piece composite with the occasional breaking point right here, and over here, which allows you to, take in some of their coil technology that gives you a forward flex, and then we'll go back to normal, which allows your foot to give you a little bit more of an explosive type of power. The footbed is a standard bio-dry, hyper light footbed. It's not the greatest footbed. If you can actually, I would suggest you try something different. Easton is doing a sale on a different type of footbed that has a big extra padding right here that kind of gives you a little bit of a forward pitch. So if you're a former Graf user like myself, I am actually going to be taking interest in that, considering these are just too light anyway and too thin. If you look in, I know a lot of people don't really like the razor blades holders, the LPS 2s. And one thing that Easton did that was really great is, if you can see the holes right there, the middle hole is just for breathability. It actually acts as kind of a drain, so if your foot sweats a lot, you'll be dripping out down at the bottom, so your feet stay as dry as possible. But that hole right there, there's also one at the top, so if you actually get maybe say toques put on these skates, it makes it completely easy, and they don't have to drill out the bottom of your skate out, so whenever you need to rechange the runner on your toque, you'll be alright. Like I said, for the tongue, if you can get the tongue switched out for something different, I do suggest you do that. These tongues are not good at all. I mean, I've used these skates once or twice already, and you feel the laces, and it's very painful. That's what we call lace bite, and you don't really want that. That's a very, very uncomfortable thing. Another thing about the S15s is kind of like the S17 and the S15 are a little bit different in many formats, such as the S15 in regular width is actually a wider width than most normal skates. So if you have a very, very wide foot like myself, a regular width S15 skate will fit better compared to, say, Grafs in the widest possible, without going to custom. Alright, what's next? The inside liner is the bio-dry as well. This inside liner is actually pretty abrasive as well, so if you like to skate barefoot, I would recommend it because this will chop up your foot. I use Under Armour and Easton hockey, I guess, socks, and those are about as good as it gets. The Easton hockey socks work very, very well with these. The Under Armour does not. They kind of get snagged out, and they actually got chopped up as well. Another thing that was actually an issue with the S15s is this right here, the tenon guard, that is bolted on right there and then just finished up by sewing. That actually is kind of a problem. If you pay close attention, that's not good. That means it's coming off. So if you want, take it somewhere, maybe to like a shoe shop where they do repairs, and they will reinforce it with some stitching on one of their heavy duty sewing machines. As far as stiffness goes, they're pretty stiff skates. They were ordered for me to be extra stiff, which was accidental. I didn't like that. So I'm actually skipping the top loop just to give me a little bit of more free flow, was something that I miss with my Grafs skates. And since I'm switching over from Grafs and CCMs, the old Grafs and old CCMs are nothing but leather skates. So switching over to something that is straight carbon composite, that's actually quite painful. So beware, buyer beware. If you're switching over from leather flexible skates, you're not going to have a good couple of days breaking these in. I'm going the hard route without having to bake them, because I know that composite skates break down a lot faster if you bake them, and also it's just the inside that's only going to be broken in. So you might as well just go the hard route. It takes 180 pounds for Grafs to break in. It takes like 200 for composite skates to break in, and I'm well over 200 pounds. As far as durability, a lot of people say that Easton S15 skates are not that great for durability, but there are people who, play 2, 3, 4, sometimes even 5 times a week. I've gotten down to playing maybe once a week, and right now because of school I don't play that often, so I probably won't be having that problem with anything. My only concern will probably be the parabolic holders. I will probably end up switching these out for maybe toques. And as far as everything else, I give these skates a 5 out of 5 stars because they're very protective. They're very good skates, very sturdy. I know this might look a little bit odd, but then again, so do other very stiff skates do that. Once it's fully, wrapped up around your foot, it's not going to be doing that either. So have fun with that. As far as light, I mean, these skates are just as good as it gets. I have the LG Touch Phone, and the LG phone is actually heavier than these skates. If that's actually saying something, so this phone weighs more than these. That's how light they are. So if you can get them, you won't even feel these on your foot. These feel like you're wearing a pair of sandals, and sandals are light. So get them if you can. If not, go try out the S17s. And also there's a couple of other companies doing the Easton 999. That's a carbon copy. That's a specially made unit copy of the Easton S12, but it's more souped up to feel and act more like the S15. So get them while you can. Very good skates. I do suggest them if you like extra stiff skates. You probably might not like these, especially if you're switching over from, say, 195s. But then again, 195 users don't like these because, according to them, they're not stiff enough. And if they're not, then whatever, you do your own thing. So Easton S15 skates, very light, very good. Go get your pair.